the honorable panel and brothers and sisters sitting down. I think I've got a bit of certain consent and procedures that actually have been ignored all the way through. One of the issues is, yes, water is life and water is power. But we must also take into consideration that there is no one blanket strategy that can be able to relieve the plight and pain of water scarcity, particularly in rural areas and in drier areas like where I come from. Yes, I would say we should actually be able to group water into its volumes or into its sources and into the sort of the development strategies that can be taken up by big business. And then there should also be a category where you are looking at a sector where the scarcity perhaps is more moderate and can be locally be utilized or developed. And in certain areas, particularly in the northern province, which I call Limpopo, that's my home, which is semi-desert, very arid. The plans, whether you think of dams or whatever, will cost you billions. And if you are taking onto account cost recovery by the consumers and so on, I don't think it's feasible. So in other words, what I'm trying to say is, let's not have a blanket strategy. Let us actually sectorize the water delivery and water resources and its management and so on. I'm a passionate activist anyway. Not only in water, I'm passionate because I happened to be working with UNICEF in my early years in the 20s, when I was in the 20s. And I had realized the pain of poverty, the pain that is caused by water scarcity, the stupidity contributing to your image by lack of water and all. You're feeling so inferior and you're so isolated and you adopt a withdrawal syndrome, and therefore you're talking about inclusive participation. I will not be part of it.
Masha, well, let me ask you this question. When policies are being created for people in communities like Limpopo, is there an engagement from your level, from the ground, whether it is, we'll talk about policies about sanitation or about water provision, are their voices being heard?
Anyway, let me tell you a little bit about my country, South Africa. I hope my mom, my minister is here.
Minister could make it, but if you just zero in on that, how much participation?
Okay. Apparently I happen to be even an activist even before that. So I've been moving with the masses. So when we first realized we should bring about change, we involved all the grassroots, every single person. I was on the ground, moving with the masses. And then we made demands. And then when we ultimately had to sit down and say, what is the future? Yes, we have been saying, hey, you have not done this. Hey, you have not done this. And then what is it that we want for the future? We also involved the same masses. Took part, contributed to the Constitution. We made bills. The bills were referred for participation again, back home, and so on. So the deadlock came when implementation has got to. So there's a difference between what policy says and what the demands are and implementation. Because when the companies come, they think involving participation takes the profits out. Of course, it's a long process. Ne? And then, so when they come, they adopt a strategy of saying, yes, we're coming to build a toilet for you, we're coming to do this for you. And then that less participation gets sort of thrown outside. thrown at the periphery.